Very good morning. My topic for the first topic will be glycemic control in the type 1 diabetes patients. So agenda for the topic will be I will be talking about the history of type 1 diabetes, insulin therapy, and etiology of the type 1 diabetes, symptoms and diagnosis and management. History. So we have seen a lot of before and after ads, something like that we have for type 1 diabetes. This is the before the initiation of the insulin therapy. This is after the initiation of the insulin therapy. You can see appreciate how much difference of insulin therapy in type 1 diabetes can do. Similarly, the before and after insulinization in the earlier days. So this is all thanks to these gentlemen, Banting and Best, in 1921. They discovered the insulin. Etiology, as per type 1 diabetes, almost 95% of it is type 1A, that is autoimmune mediated. So there is a family history. Among the first degree ladies are concordance of 5%, and identical twins have 50% of type 1 diabetes. So this is good genetic component to it. And as and it is MSC complex related association also formed. It is more than 90% of type 1 diabetes have one haplotype of MSC, and also non-MSC genes also has been postulated. And apart from genetic, even the environmental, some etiology postulated were Coxsackie virus, enteroviruses, and some viral infections supposed to be having some protective effect also. And dietary, some cow milk has been to be potential etiologic factors, and some cereals have been suggested as risk factors, and vitamin D supplements can be a protective in type 1 diabetes. Wherever you find too difficult to adjust the dosage, sometimes hypo, sometimes hyper, in my practice I use this continuous glucose monitoring to get a overall picture, and we can accordingly we can adjust the dosages. This is tells the importance of continuous glucose monitoring once in a while. For example, this patient, when you do finger stick sugar test, it is within the normal range. It's showing the low normal, high normal, not much bad. But when you do continuous glucose monitoring, you can see the sugar level is much more higher and lot of hypos are picked up. So in type 1 diabetes, you have to do once in a while continuous glucose monitoring to pick up the true total pictures. And this one clinical, some of this insulin pump can be connected with the continuous glucose monitoring, wherein this sends the sugar level every 15 minutes or so or continuously to the device. It tells the trend actually. Now it is going to fall, now it is going to rise. Like if it is something like this, now it is falling here, it will intimate the pump, it will give an alarm, it is falling on. Then the child can bolus carbohydrate and prevent this hypoglycemia. So those technologies also available. These are some of the readings of the continuous glucose monitoring. Day wise they give, and each morning time how much it will be, evening how much, all those things will be given. So you can interpret and you get a lot of data basically. So wherein you can utilize those data to adjust the insulin therapy. So you can put the timings also, where what time you had breakfast, when did you go for exercise, whether the exercise causing hypoglycemia or not, all those things can be found out through CGM. And final type will be the insulin glucose monitoring system, which is non-invasive. We have like a pulse oximetry for oxygen saturation, something like for sugar has been developed. It could be soon available for the approval, wherein you, similar to that pulse oximeter, you put it in the finger and it measures the blood glucose. Probably it will be a great help for the type 1 diabetes, where we expect them to do 5 times prickings to monitor the sugars. So concluding my talk, aim is for to do good glycemic control as far as possible However, we have to minimize the hypoglycemia. In our setup, we should always initiate with basal bolus regimen. Don't go for pre-mix insulin, 25-35, all those things for adults, not for the type 1 diabetics. And if at all possible, advise them, a patient is affordable, advise them for the insulin pump also. And for patients, you always give a structured education program, including about the insulin and about the carbohydrate counting, all those things. They are not the adults. You can't tell them, go do dieting, don't eat sweets, don't go for exercise. Anyway, children will play. But it is not like a type 2. You don't have to. You should not treat like that type 2 for restricting their food. The type 1 diabetes can have the chocolate, ice cream, everything. Everything is allowed, provided they calculate the carb count and bolus for them. So you have to teach them first. Then you can allow all the foods for them. And pen injectors and modern techniques has to be adopted by the healthcare providers. With this, I can protect.